let's talk about one of the greatest revenge stories ever written. It's a massive tale of hope, absolute despair, and a burning desire for justice that turns a good man into something else entirely, something truly formidable.
And that's really the core question, isn't it? How does something like that happen? We're going to follow the journey of a hero who has everything, loses it all in the most brutal way imaginable, and then claws his way back to become this phantom of vengeance. Okay, let's get into it.
So, picture this. It's 1815 in the busy port city of Marseille, and we meet our hero, Edmond Dantès. He's only 19 years old, and honestly, his life is pretty much perfect. He's a good guy, great at his job, and he's on the verge of getting everything he's ever dreamed of.
And wow, this quote from Dantès himself just says it all. He's not arrogant, he's just purely, simply happy. But that's the tragedy, right? He has no idea that his own happiness is like a spotlight, making him a target for the jealousy that's festering just out of his sight.
I mean, just look at his life. He's about to be named captain of his ship. He's engaged to the love of his life, the beautiful Mercédès. He's got a father who adores him and a boss, Monsieur Morel, who trusts him completely. You really can't draw it up any better than that.
So, how does it all go so wrong so fast? Well, it all comes down to the petty jealousy of two men. You've got Danglars, who can't stand that Dantès is getting the promotion he wants. And then you have Fernand, who's hopelessly in love with Dantès' fiancée, Mercédès. So Danglars, the snake, comes up with the plan, a fake letter. And Fernand, blinded by his own pathetic desperation, is the one who actually delivers it.
And then, bam! It all comes crashing down at the best moment of his life. He's at his own engagement party, surrounded by everyone he loves, and suddenly, soldiers burst in. With just those 5 words, Dante's entire world shatters into a million pieces.
So, just like that, he goes from the absolute pinnacle of happiness to the bottom of a nightmare. He's not a beloved sailor anymore. He's a political prisoner, caught in a system that's way more interested in ambition than it is in justice.
He was betrayed by the people he thought were his friends, and now he's about to be betrayed by the very law that's supposed to protect him. He's hauled in front of this deputy prosecutor, a young, ambitious guy named Monsieur de Villefort. And at first, it actually seems like things might be okay. Villefort seems to believe him. Dantès explains he was just delivering a letter for his dead captain, a final wish. And to show his supposed trust, Villefort burns the letter right there in front of him.
But here it is, the gut punch. That letter. It was addressed to Villefort's own father, who's a known supporter of Napoleon. If that gets out, Villefort's career is toast. So he has a choice: save an innocent man or save himself.
And right there, in his own head, you see exactly what he's thinking. He chooses himself. To protect his own future, his own ambition, he condemns an innocent man. He sacrifices Edmond Dantès without a second thought.
And so that's it. No trial, no jury, no chance to say a single word in his own defense. Dantès is thrown on a boat and sent to the most infamous prison in all of France, the ChateauDIf. It's a fortress on an island, a place people get sent to be forgotten, a tomb for the living.
14 years. Just let that number sink in. For 14 years, Edmond Dantès is left to rot in a dark dungeon, all alone. His hope dies, and all that's left is this slow-burning rage against an injustice he doesn't even fully understand yet.
And just when he's about to give up completely, ready to starve himself to death, he hears something. A scratching sound, a noise coming from the other side of his cell wall, and for the first time in what feels like a lifetime, a tiny spark of hope flickers back on.
The noise turns out to be another prisoner, tunneling his way through the stone. His name is Abbé Faria, an incredibly brilliant scholar and priest. Now the guards, they all think he's completely nuts, always rambling on about some lost treasure, but he's about to change Dantès' life forever.
Faria basically becomes Dantès' personal university. He teaches him everything: languages, science, economics. He turns this naive sailor into a genius. But more than that, he gives him 2 incredible gifts. First, he helps Dantès piece together exactly who betrayed him and why. And second, he tells him where to find a secret, unbelievable treasure. All of a sudden, Dantès doesn't just want to survive. He wants justice.
Okay, so now he's got the knowledge, a clear motive, and the promise of a massive fortune. He's a new man, but first, he has to do the impossible.
He has to escape the ChateauDIf.
But then, tragedy strikes again. Faria has a seizure that leaves him paralyzed. Their plan to escape together is ruined. In his final moments, the old man tells Dantès to go on without him, to escape and claim the life and the treasure that should be his.
It seems like it's all over. Faria is gone, the escape is off. It's the lowest of the low. But then, as Dantès watches the guards wrap Faria's body in a burial sack to be thrown into the sea, a wild, horrifying, and absolutely brilliant idea clicks into place.
You have to picture the guts this takes. He switches places with Faria's body inside the sack. The guards carry him out, swing him back and forth, and launch him off the rocks into the ocean. A cannonball tied to his feet pulls him down deep into the water. But he has a knife. He cuts the sack open, slashes the rope, and swims for the surface, a free man, reborn from a watery grave.
So, after 14 years, Edmond Dantès is finally free. But let's be clear, the innocent young sailor who went into that prison, he died in there. The man who came out is someone completely new, armed with a fortune and a singular, all-consuming purpose.
He follows Faria's instructions to this tiny, deserted island of Monte Cristo. And there, hidden in a cave, he finds it. The treasure wasn't some madman's fantasy. It was real. A fortune so huge it's basically infinite. It gives him the power to be anyone, go anywhere, and to finally enact his revenge.
The transformation is just absolute. The hopeful 19-year-old sailor is a ghost. In his place is the 33-year-old Count of Monte Cristo. Sophisticated, mysterious, infinitely wealthy, and patient. He's no longer a victim of other people's games. He's now the one in control, ready to make his grand return to society and settle some old debts.
So, as the Count gets ready to step back into the world that destroyed him, we're left with this massive question. He has the power to reward the few who were kind to him and to completely ruin those who wronged him. But as he sets his brilliant and terrible plans into motion, what's the real cost of getting even going to be?